Now, wow, I don't come again. Oh. Okay, let's go. Shortlet is making a lot of people rich in Nigeria. But why is making a lot of people rich? It also makes a lot of people go bankrupt in Nigeria as at today. Because the truth of the matter is this: everybody on Instagram wants to go into the shortletting business, but none of them actually know what happens at the back end, that there are some bad sides to it. Things like the occupancy rates, things like the high cost of operation, things like even the fake lifestyle, or things like also the high cost of maintenance, or even bad staffing, to talk of few. If you feel you need to go into shortlet business, please watch this video today before you even have that thought. And with this, you'll be making an informed decision to know if you'll be going bankrupt by doing this or you'll be making profits by doing this. Let's go on into the video today. Shortlet is crazy. A few years ago, note that we didn't have anything like Airbnb or Shortlet. But in the last couple of years, we could see there's a growth in the rate at which people are now sort of imbibing Airbnb, also imbibing luxury apartments, and also that ability or that system in which that makes people pay daily for a property. And why some operators are making good money out of it and making it look good. There's also a reality people are not talking about, and that's the reality I'm talking about in the video today. Because why some people are making it good, also attracting a lot of investors wanting to expand the Lagos market of Airbnb, there's also a reality side I'll be talking about in the video today. Why a lot of people come to social media and give you that glamour thing of, oh, I made this in the last 30 days, I made this in the last 1 year from Airbnb and things like that. They are also bad side they are not telling you, and they won't tell you. And I'll be telling you 7 things they never tell you, and 7 things you never paid attention to, so that you know those things that also, when they make those money, that also takes away those money if they didn't pick the right choice of location of the Airbnb. Number 1 is constant repair. If there's any small thing that happens in an Airbnb apartment, you notice that the occupant will call you straight away. Hello, the tap is broken. Hello, the zinc is leaking. Hello, this carpet was like this and it was like this when I came here. Hello, this dustbin is spot. You always repair. The next one is high cleaning costs. If your Airbnb is not clean enough, people will not use it. The next one is guests complain. They can complain for Africa because it's not their fault. I don't blame them. They've paid a huge amount of money, so they want to sort of get the full benefit they should get in terms of satisfaction. The next one, they don't talk about electricity billing, especially if you're in a band area or you are in an area whereby you don't have alternative power supply. You'll be in an hell of a trouble. Then the next also is the generator diesel. Definitely, you know that will consume your profit. Also staff salaries. Last but not the least, booking charges, especially for people who are using external places like Airbnb and some other places for them to get booking. This tends to consume their money, and this is the actual reality people don't talk about. Because at the end of the day, most people are now realizing that the business demand more than they expected, and this is only discovered after they jump into the business, and they are now seeing that it's not about the glamour style alone, but there's also a side to it that they didn't see on social media, and they are learning the hard way. For those who want to still invest in Airbnb, let me quickly tell you 2 important secrets. So if you get these 2 right, please go ahead and make your money. The first one is location. The second one is occupancy rate. And I'll break this down to us as simple as possible. I'm talking about location first of all. Think of it this way: if there's a location that I love so much, the location whereby gives me easy accessibility, security, and also that place gives me that peace of mind and that sort of natural vibes. If you have those things, you get me in your location. So if it comes to Airbnb, your location plays an important part. But with the economy of Nigeria of today, I would say there are 2 major things important to people: security and the accessibility. Other thing comes after. When I mean other thing comes after now, I mean in terms of your electricity and stuff like that. Even though those things are still very important, but that location is the important thing. The second one also is the occupancy rate. This cannot be overemphasized, and I will explain this from the point of using an airplane to explain this. I used to work with the Nigerian airport authorities, so I understand how this works. If you have a plane and that plane is packed, normally people will be like, if it's packed, at least it's not being used, at least they won't pay money for maintenance. But note, for a plane, normally if the plane is flying, that is what every plane owner wants to hear, because the more it flies, the more it makes you money. If it's parked there, number one, it's not making you money, and where it's parked at the airport, you're also paying the parking fee, and that parking fee is paid per hour. If you like parking there for 10 days, you keep paying it. So why did I use that example is Airbnb also plays a part. If your occupancy rate is low, you are in big trouble. You are in big trouble. Especially for people in which don't own the property. Like I've seen some people who go rent property for Airbnb. Example, they went to Lekki, they went to rent a property of 10 million, and because they've calculated it, then they've told themselves that, okay, if you rent this property out for this X amount of money in a year, we will be able to even pay that rent and also make another 10 million naira. But the bad thing about that thing is, if you have low occupancy, take it or leave it. The landlord does not care. The landlord will collect his own money when it's the end of the year. Okay, so if your occupancy rate is low, you are in big trouble. And two things that cause occupancy rate being low is location and competition. Because if you're in a wrong location, people will not patronize you. And the bad thing about Airbnb is that as you are giving people bad vibes, some people are also moving to the newer place. And for Airbnb owners, in most cases I've observed it, I don't know how many people have observed it before, sometimes people don't like reusing the same Airbnb because it's like they just want to change their taste and their environment in some cases. So they always look for the newer ones in the market. And that's why sometimes I tell people, for you to sustain the Airbnb business, you have to also keep on changing the aesthetics of your property periodically. And most Airbnb owners understand this. And I noticed that some of them that understand the business, once it gets to a time of the year, let's say June, July, August, they usually close for operations. They will carry out maintenance during that duration of time because they do not carry out maintenance when it's their peak period during the year. So you need to change the aesthetics for it to sort of survive in the business. All right. Now, the question I want to sort of ask us next is this. Why do we think Airbnb is a passive income business? Or why do we think it's for passive income? One of my mentors usually says something. He said, how small you carry your business will determine how small you get outcome from that business. So why did I say that? Is most people will be like, oh, it's just when I make money, I pocket it. No, it's a business. Think of it as your Airbnb as a small hotel business. And you need to pay attention to this if you're thinking of making anything good out of it. Because I want to tell you those things that matters when it comes to Airbnb. Number one thing that matters is your customer service. It matters a lot. If you have a bad customer service, you definitely have a very low occupancy rate. Number two, review matters. If somebody complains today and says mosquito is a property, and tomorrow he comes again still mosquito, he will not come there again because you've not fixed their problem. And let's say especially there's a space under the door, and this space under the door is causing mosquito to come in. And this has happened to me before. I rented an Airbnb and there was space down the door. I even took like a rag to put it there, and I complained to them, can they have this fixed? And after I didn't have it fixed, after that day I never even thought about that Airbnb again. So review matters. Number three, marketing matters as well. In as much as you're having occupancy rate, you have to constantly market because you don't want your occupancy rate to drop. Also, cleanliness matters as well as management. Management is the most important thing because the management ties all these things that matters together. So you must have a fantastic management for you to survive in the Airbnb business. Like I said, it's a business, not a charity organization, and it's not there to give you passive income. Now, I'll read something out to us shortly because I jotted this down. Not everybody should be running an Airbnb. Or no, not everybody should be running a Shortlet business, and I apologize in advance for this. Now the answer is, who are those that should be running it? Okay, Shortlet is best for investors. Number one, if they understand hospitality. If you understand hospitality, while you are even building it, the aesthetics of the building will show you understand the business. I've seen people build Airbnb and you'll be like, have they built an hostel or what have they done? Okay, you need to understand that part very well. Number two thing, you have to understand strong management, and this would either make or break your business. Number three thing, also you have to choose a very prime location. Number four thing also is that you have to understand how to survive during the dry season. Note this is very, very, very essential. Airbnb is not a seasonal business, and also is not a business that run on a parallel line all through the year. There are days or times that are very, very dry, especially in times of, let's say, there are not public holiday or no special occasions like Christmas, New Year, and all those things, or Easter, or the Ramadan. You need to understand, how do you make money during that period of time? And that's why you see that some Airbnb owners sort of come up together with content creators to use their property. Some come together with movie producers to use their property. Those are few things you could sort of find a way around for you to get the business going at the point whereby there are not much activities around the area. And also, anybody that wants to do Airbnb must think long term. Don't just think, okay, it's all about me putting down money and I will just build the house, I will just hire a manager and money will start entering. No, you have to understand the business. We almost come to the end of the video today. If you do like what we do, kindly do like, share and comment. And if I'm giving you value so far for everything I'm saying before you go into the Shortlet business, please kindly put it into the comment section. Let's know those things that you've gained from this video as we continue in this video. All right, we'll finally come to the end of the video today. Please invest in the Shortlet business. If you must invest, please understand the business, not just the lifestyle behind the business, because understand the business will make you a lot of millions. And while making you a lot of millions, also understand that these millions, you will have to pour it back into the business to sustain the business for a long period of time. If you like what we do, kindly do like, share, comment on this video today. Once again, my name is Tim Tayo Fermi, and do have a lovely, lovely day ahead of you today. And also, let me know, will you love to invest in the Shortlet business after watching this video? Put it in the comment section. Thank you.